panda here. Panda bear. Hey, panda bear. Let's see. Bring up image. Okay, let's see. I'm going to open up a bunch of them. Am I back? I should be back. Am I back, guys? Make the compression too hard to do effectively. Oh, well, whatever. Says I'm good and says I'm still alive, so I'm just going to keep on doing this. Yeah, it's good now. Okay, I'm just going to have to learn not to draw anything, I guess, until I'm in front of you guys. Let's see. I don't want that photo. I want to kind of put this one in the corner. Okay. Yeah, I got to do... This is a commission. Oh, let me unplug that one. Okay, is the mic still in? Yeah, it's still in. Okay. I got to do a commission of this little Littlest Pet Shop character, and they want to have her be cutely that she I forget what it was. Oh yeah, that she beat out Apple Bloom on I don't know, some sort of internet mojo.com, which I don't really subscribe to mojo.com, and I don't mean not in the video subscribing sense. I mean, I actually watched a couple videos and wasn't really that impressed by it. But let's see, something. I'm just gonna play around here. Then we might not get anything even remotely on paper yet, but I've just gotta kind of figure out how to have her cutely gloating that she beat Apple Bloom in a cuteness contest. Okay. Let's see. And she's got kind of a little round body. Let me gauge this here. That's a big head. Okay. So this was simple enough, and it was good. It's easy enough to, in case that other one failed. I could have sworn it was stable when I tried it earlier. But let's see. Yeah, that her body keeps shifting. Oh well. Let's see. I'll probably maybe like something like a sash or let's see. How big are her feet? I've seen this show before. It's okay. I understand why. I understand why Sierra doesn't like some of the newer stuff. Yeah. Let's not get into that. But what I wanted to show you earlier, and what was that? I wonder if I can even put up a second one. No, I'll just wait. That image of Luke and Yoda, that was this weird little. I figured if I was showing the previews, I figured if I had prepared footage, I would leave my hands free to do some other things. Let's see, where are her arms? Her arms are right under her body. Let's just... A friend of mine has been streaming Steven while he draws on Picardo. But again, yes, I said Picardo lets you do that stuff. YouTube, not so much. But YouTube is where all the viewership is. In terms of, you know, affordability and just getting more views and such. But, oh, that's weird. She's got this weird little, one of those very geometrical nose. Goes up and down like this. I'm gonna kind of smooth that out. Make her look make it a little bit more organic. This is just gonna be very good, new master. He commented, "Do I have a Picardo app on my phone?" No, I have a YouTube app. Even though they probably should. I've been on Picardo a couple times, and mostly, yeah, it's real easy to just stream some old pictures. I mean, not old, an old TV show while you're just drawing, because even then you can kind of go and just go to the bathroom, get a sandwich, and everyone can watch an old episode of Night Stalker. Or wait, Knighthood. That's the show I got into. Yeah, I heard that it's wrapping up its final season. Let's see, I'll have her arms be kind of like this. It kind of go. Yeah. Kind of have curved up like this. I wonder if I could have it like oversized. Like it's too big for her body. That'd be kind of cute, I guess. And it goes. Yeah, like something like that. And then wraps around her foot. And then goes back down. Just letting you know that I discovered your channel recently. I've been really liking familiar faces. Currently in progress. I've been watching through the archive. Oh, thank you. Now, if I may ask you, Captain, how did you do the drawing stuff, or was it because of other things? Let's see. And I'll go like this. Figuring out how to do ribbons is a little hard. Let's see. I gotta make sure that I know. This side is one side, this side's the other. Now, what am I gonna write on it? Oh boy. Yeah, and I'll have her arm be out like, kind of like posing. And then her hands be like, I'm gonna have her finger. I'm gonna have this between her finger and forefinger, and then this will be in front of it, like she grabbed it and is holding it up by her index and thumb, and the other fingers are folded underneath, kind of daintily grabbing it. I'm gonna. It's like, I don't think the sash is big, Orby. I'm working hectic. In fact, I'm deciding whether or not to finish a Christmas review, which itself could not exactly be a Christmas review. It's a cheap damage, and I actually make the argument in the video that it could any time because of a certain property that. Let's see. Let me just figure out how to do this hand real quick. Its thumb's a little too big. I kind of like what I did with this. I make an argument that this certain property is viable for at least 3 months of the year in terms of holiday films, and you might know exactly what I'm talking about now. But I'm kind of wondering whether I should finish that up and stick it out and just be done with it, or should I hold on to it for an entire year? Which that's what also happened with another review, Halloween review I was supposed to do. Not supposed to do. I wanted to do it, but again, things got a little out of hand. I'll just lengthen it. Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's let's see, how does she look when her mouth is open? Okay, so I'll just, and her mouth is a little bit smaller. Wait. And the damn thing froze. Okay, I'll probably end up doing it. Where is it? Where is it? No, it's weird. Her mouth, I guess it is pretty small. Much smaller than in the, here. Let's see. Shrink it up. Yeah, kind of like something like that. In fact, I'm going to move this off a little bit until I figure out where I want it. But yeah, things got away with me, as they always do. Now, it just recently rained here in Arizona, and I got to get on the roof and fix some leaks. I thought I fixed them already. I think the culprit now is this weird pipe that's just sticking out of the middle of the roof. It was part of the old infrastructure when the previous owners, not the previous owners, but about 3 owners back, they extended the whole house. That line's just kind of throwing me off. Yeah, that's about right where it is. Anyway, and that pipe might just be, might have a seam around it, or it might be the pipe itself that's letting water into a roof, and it's condensed around this ceiling beam. Which is fine, it's easy enough to repair, but it's obnoxious that you have to keep repairing it over and over again. Let's see, so that's a new thing. Yeah, I live in Arizona. She's got these little under lashes. I don't draw them myself, but I kind of think they're nice to put on characters or have on characters. Now her eyes just seem a little bit too far apart. I don't know. Well, it's resting on the skull on the outline here. Stop staring at me with them big old eyes. One of the few SpongeBob lines I still quote. And they're a little bit almond shaped. Here and here. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Yeah, I'm just going to bring it in, find out where it lays. This is also another good technique for those who I recently got more emails asking me, how do I learn how to draw? And I said, well, you constantly draw. You always draw and always try to learn from as many people as you can. And also, it also helps if you bring it into your program and you just figure out where everything kind of lies. Now, is her head split up into threes? I'm noticing that there's a little bit, you see, there's kind of a wide base, or you can draw it where you create kind of a, okay. You see, sometimes you'll come up with neat little tricks like this. See, I'm creating a kind of grid that I can work with. See, if you break down a character like this, you can find out all the neat little... Yeah, kind of make the base wider. Yeah, her head is definitely wider than that. And these sometimes are intentionally built into the characters because they help the animate, well, not these animators, but other animators build up the characters, and it makes them, there's little tricks of the trade for construction. For example, Bart Simpson is a tin can resting on top of, I forget what, a tin can resting on top of a golf ball or something. I have the Simpsons book, let's see, and then you put the lip at the bottom, extend the neck, bring out the ears, and I believe there's 8 tufts all around. But yeah, they described Bart as a tin can. Marge is her head plus 3 heads high for her hair. How do you do the live thin on YouTube? It's called streaming. They got a new program, but I think you might have to be a partner or something like that, or agree to something. I forget what. Anyway, let's just... Actually, it looks better with the mouth in the middle. But even then, it's just a little too off. But this will be fine for now. We'll just work on the 3rd layer. And Like I said, she's got kind of a flat top. It's very geometrical, but I don't like that too much. So we're gonna kind of, come on, just give me the right color, damn it. See if we can smooth her out a bit. And it doesn't need to look exactly like it. I mean, I can add my own flourishes. But when I do commissions, I try to do it as on model. Unless people say, hey, use this specific kind of style, I try to incorporate as much as the on model stuff as possible. And she's a little bit rounder. By the way, what the hell? I mean, seriously, what the hell? It's a panda in a Littlest Pet Shop. Pandas are endangered as hell. How in the world did that crazy old woman get a panda? Who let her do that? Oh, and she doesn't have a tuft. She's got kind of just a straight open mouth, which I would normally advise against, but I kind of like that better than the little cat droop. We'll see if we can work that in maybe, but I kind of like that better. Yeah. And we could probably put her teeth right under her little upper lip right there, and then give her a mouth. Yeah, this is working out okay. But again, Littlest Pet Shop. What? I fear the day that pandas grow up in a pet shop. You know, again, they're super rare. They don't breed in captivity. Yeah, again, a little too big. Come on, just select the thing I want you to select. Yeah, you see her head, the top of the head is narrower than the bottom, so it is that kind of, it gives you room for you can squeeze in the top of it, and it gives room for the mouth at the bottom. I'm going to probably rework this. What do I mean, probably? Frankly, I think evolution is just trying to give a hint at pandas. Do you keep the window showing reference material while you're working on the drawing in a bigger window? Hopefully you yes, I do. In fact, I have 2 monitors right now. Yeah, and everything says it's perfect. It was just trying to stream that stuff at the same time that really threw me off. But yes, and in fact, I can go over here. I can zoom it in. I got the mouse shows up so I can point to things if I need to. Yeah, you can layer windows. I use a program called Mishira. Mishira. It's apparently it's a super lightweight broadcaster that really helps working on laptop. Oh, and if I press the space bar, I can just cycle through different things. Actually, let me test something. Let me stress test this. Yeah, hey, check that out. It won't close. And I can just click on the arrow and it'll go in that direction now. Let's see, I kind of like this picture of her. That's cute. She is adorable. I'll give you that. It's a super lightweight program that works on laptops, which a laptop broadcasting used to be a problem. I don't know, because the graphics card wasn't up to snuff. I remember trying it. I remember using OBS, Open Broadcasting, something or other. Just look up OBS. It's really good for a lot of video games, but for some reason it's not compatible with laptops. There's something about DirectX not being installed on this graphics card. So I thought I couldn't do this, but it turns out I can. Especially drawing. My laptop is about, let's see, I got it in college. Oh no, I had to replace it in college. I had it midway through college, so I guess it's maybe about, I don't know, 6 years old? Yeah. Anyway, it's okay, but it was top of the line when it first came out, but it's not anywhere near what it could be. In fact, I've seen little rinky-dink, I guess you call them pocketbook laptops. They're not quite tablets, but they're getting small enough to just be little computers you can carry around. But anyway, I think some of them have actual more processing power than this one. Let's see. It's gonna be a hard edge right there. But yeah, it's a great program to use, and if you're like using a laptop and maybe you don't have the access to the best graphics card right now. Which this whole thing started because I spent $100+ getting a graphics card for a different computer. One that I'm probably gonna, if I want to do the skull thing, I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to broadcast Lightworks in OBS. Or just download Misher onto that computer. You know, it's funny that you bring up Five Nights at Freddy. I told this before, but my nieces and nephews, sort of, got tablets for Christmas, and they all got excited, and they all got video games on it. And one of the things that they have is they all have all the Five Nights at Freddy's video games. But I don't think they're that scared by it. Which maybe they're just too young. Maybe they just assume, oh, it's a video game. These are the video game bad guys. You got to try to survive. Maybe they're just a little too young, a little too naive. Maybe they haven't just developed that kind of sense of fear. Or maybe just I have the most baller nieces and nephews ever. It was it was Thomas that got me back into Pokemon online because he brought his collection over and he said, I got these cards. I got little, what are these for? And I said, well, they're on to an online game. And he says, well, can I see? And he says, yeah, sure, why not? I'll load it up on my computer. We'll waste an afternoon. Been playing it every day. It ends. How was your college experience? It was mixed. It was fine. It was unexpected, as most people, I guess, would assume from a college experience. But mine was a little bit more different. ASU apparently they said they had a good graphic arts program, but they really didn't. In fact, I had a counselor that kind of quit halfway into my my education, and then I got a new counselor, and the counselor said, oh man, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, what do you mean? The old counselor says, he's like, I don't know what she told you, man, but we really don't have a good animation program, and all these classes that she said would fill out certain requirements don't do that. He says you're going to have to fill out a form to kind of try and finagle your graduation. I was like, oh man. And then the classes I did take for graphic design were really mediocre and watered down. I ended up having to take a lot of extra classes in traditional artwork, which I found exceedingly more beneficial to me as an artist because the graphics classes were being taught by students themselves, grad students who, oh man, are totally not at all pretentious assholes. I'm sorry if you're a grad student. I'm sure you're lovely, but I got a bunch of douchebags. But for these traditional classes like watercolor, sculpting, and fine print work, I got the top of the heads of all the departments. I don't know. I just happened to luck out in each class. I would sign up, and these were like electives. These were sort of little sidebar things that would help my art degree, but wouldn't really. It would help the art degree, but are not considered core to the diploma. Oh, and woodworking too. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a fun one. But anyway, like I said, I would have these teachers, and they would be really well versed outside of their uh, chosen fields, and incredibly versed within their chosen fields. And they would really mentor me. Like I built a robot and wood shop based off a sketch I made in cartooning, and she was like, "Oh, this is really nice." And then I did a bunch of ceramic work based off of old Chuck Jones cartoons. And for my final in my print shop, I animated print working. I would cut a little bit away from a print, and then I would cut a little away from a print, and I would ink it up, and I would make a print of it, and I would cut a little more, do that, and then I scanned that in on a computer, and then I made a little short animation with it. And he really dug that. So in other words, I kind of explored more. I explored more of animation and art design within different mediums because other teachers sort of allowed me to. Teachers you wouldn't think would do that. While on the other hand, the other classes were really sterile. They were kind of more or less, hey, do this thing, reproduce the packet, so that way I can, go through and check mark and saying that you know how to use a program or know how to do a design in a certain way. And so I can get back to working on my magnum opus, oil painting with windshield wipers. And that was a guy. He was like, "Oh man, I'm doing something new and different. I'm painting with windshield wipers." It's like, oh yeah, he had a huge portfolio of about 50 sunsets and oceans and whatever. Meanwhile, my wood teacher, I remember this. I'm not going to brag, but there was a little bit of awkwardness because that robot that I made. It's funny. She blurts out, "Oh my gosh, this is my favorite," and then kind of an awkward pause within the class, and she says, "That you've ever done," because it was in the middle of all the class presentation. And then she later would come up to me and she says, this really was my favorite. I said, I kind of blurted that out. And she advised me to enter it into a toy contest. They were supposed to. There's some sort of festival where people make homemade toys and stuff. At least there was back then. I didn't do it because, even though I should. Hey, if you ever get an opportunity to do something, do it. All right, don't put it off. I probably should have done it, made friends with someone in the toy industry and gotten a job as a designer. How do you become good at mimicking other styles? Like I said, it just pick a style, draw it, maybe bring it into this, bring it into your program, draw over it, figure out where all the lines lay. For example, let's just take a look at this. Let's break this down a little bit more efficiently, shall we? I'm just going to give you a little tutorial. Let's say this is the line for the head. And let's actually flip that and see how big the head is. So it's kind of more or less one. Let's see. I'm going to copy this. Copy, paste. Now let's see. Let's make a mark here and then bring it back and see where it falls. Okay, so the head is roughly 1 and 1/2 wide versus 1 long. And you just kind of and if I had figured that out earlier, I could have said, okay, well this is the length, and then I could have just done this, copy, paste, and then maybe stretched it out just a little bit, or even not stretch it out at all, been like this, and then figured out that was the extensions of her head. So if you're interested in a style, do what you can to try and break it down as much as possible. And like I said, some of these tricks of the trade are built into the actual design because that's the way other people draw them. It's like part of a design. I don't care what I don't care what the Ren and Stimpy's creator says. I think I'm in love with model charts, character models and design charts and everything. I love it where they lay it out to where you can reproduce it, where anyone can reproduce it. You can hand this to a different artist and say, okay, try this. Reproduce this. You got to make it look like this for at least a minute, of animation. Although there's this sort of new trend, and I don't know, it's kind of bugging me a bit. It's where I saw this on Tumblr, and I think the studios themselves released it. It's where they show how different artists draw the different characters. It was a compilation of different storyboard artists and how they drew the characters, and I guess that's sort of neat, and it's bound to happen because the artist's hand will never be replaced. And it's more apparent in older cartoons, like older Looney Tunes, where you can definitely tell what a Chuck Jones cartoon is versus a Free Ling or a Maltese. Oh wait, no, Maltese was a writer. What am I doing? But yeah, you can definitely tell which artist is working on what because they would literally storyboard the whole thing. And then, for a while, the industry sort of became based on, okay, reproduce it just this certain way. Here's a model sheet, draw it this way. And now they're kind of getting away from that a little with the Adventure Time stuff and saying, okay, well, just draw it weird and you put your own flourishes on it and really make it your own. And it's like, and then you can tell sometimes. I mean, some episodes just kind of look uglier than others. It's like Finn just has way too many gaps in his teeth, or his ears are a little bit off kilter, and it's kind of like, well, it's like you should really just use a model guide. It's like, yeah, but that's not weird and free, and it's like, oh, well, whatever. It's like We Bare Bears is still good. You know, I sort of like the idea of this oversized sash because it is sort of. I mean, she is part of the Littlest Pet Shop, so she would. Oh, I just selected everything. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Hanna-Barbera's Tom and Jerry is better than Chuck Jones's. Yeah, well, that you wouldn't be the first to say that, because by the time Chuck Jones came along, I forget what the deal was, but his were more. I don't know. Sometimes he did a lot of satire. Sometimes the formula was just a little bit off. There's an episode where Tom and Jerry have a duel, and it's just a bunch of sight gags about them fighting. It's not about a chase. I think the only ones that really... there was one where Tom was a spy, and he was trying to get past, all of... Jerry was a spy, and he was trying to get past all of Tom's, security system. So... It just didn't quite feel like Tom and Jerry, the classic setup and chase. There was one episode where let's see, what was it? It was like really classic. He did the episode where with the female cat who took a liking to Tom as sort of a maternal sense, and took care of him as a baby. And Tom really didn't, Tom, of course, didn't like that. And there was plenty of setup for jokes with that. But he kind of did, he did parodies. He made his own original kind of concepts. He worked outside of the concept of Tom and Jerry that Hanna-Barbera started. So... I mean, you can't blame him for that, but on the other hand, it's kind of not Tom and Jerry. Did anyone used to think Hanna-Barbera was one person? No, I think even as a kid, I saw a picture of the two, and then by the time I started to associate Hanna-Barbera with cartoons, I knew that they were two people because I remember that one drawing I saw. Although I did think Tom and Jerry were Looney Tunes because Chuck Jones did take over for them after they left MGM. So I did think that for a while they were Looney Tunes, even though they weren't. They are now, for all extensive purposes, because Warner Brothers bought out Hanna-Barbera, gutted them, and now uses them as more or less kind of a name brand. Let's see. She's got a ton of those little doodles, but we're just gonna... Let's see. And this is just... I guess line art with slight shading. Monochromatic shading, so we're not going to get too much into... I gotta fix that foot though. Her feet are a little too, maybe a little bit too big. Gotta narrow them down a bit. But yeah, that's the one weird thing I remember. It's like I could have sworn Tom and Jerry were Looney Tune characters. Of course, they weren't. It was just the same people working on them. Let's see. Have you seen the new Lion King movie? I believe it's 90% CGI, and yet it has the illusion of 2D animation. Yeah, I said that earlier. I think it's the same. I postulated that it was the same people that worked on Paperman, because I thought it was odd that Paperman all of a sudden showed up, and then after that, so closely after that, they made the series that really closely resembled it. But no, I guess it's just a regular studio that's really good at doing stuff like that, who may have been developing their own way of combining 2D line art and animation. That's going to be there. Oh yeah, just wait. Are her ears too big? Yeah, her ears are just too big. Let's see how big her ears are compared to some other part of her body. Yeah, that might work. Let's make her head just a little bit bigger. Have you ever traveled abroad? I think, no, I've only traveled within the United States. The landlocked United States. Yeah, I gotta darken this. Or bring that down a little bit so I can see. I realized I realized the Lion Guard looks like Blue's Clues or Dragon Tales. I halfway have an intention to do a review on it, but yeah, it's sort of a little bit watered down. It's funny. It feels like it's trying to be that an epic, but at the same time a really goofy little kids show. Not goofy, but it's definitely trying to be a kids show in that during some parts it'll take time to. I've only seen two segments that I think were previewed. There was the one where they first show up, and then another one where they beat some alligators. Or not beat some alligators, they have a problem with some alligators. And the whole concept kind of falls apart during the alligator episode, because they're kind of, it's like they're depicting nature as this, where the strongest survive, survival of the fittest, the strongest survive, but at the same time they're trying to treat the savannah like it's a city, and they're superheroes, and they have to protect people and protect the circle of life. But on the other hand, they the circle of life, nature has this brutality to it that they sometimes embrace and then sometimes ignore. It's like they're always saying, "Oh man, circle of life," which implies that animals eat other animals. But at the same time, they open the second episode where they're saving a little rat thing from a snake, and it's like, and they beat up the snake because he was trying to eat. It's like, where's the circle in life in that? For all extensive purposes, there should be a list of what situations that they handle. If like, okay, a hyena breaks into the, okay, we have hyenas and they're just killing everything. It's like, okay, we stop that. There's this little rat and a snake's eating it. Well, I guess we can't handle that because that's circle of life. What can you do? Hakuna Matata or Mazuba, whatever that other little rat thing did. And it's funny, he's got the best design of all the characters. I love that way he walks around on his hind legs and but he's kind of an annoying little prick. Did someone mention Clarence? Would you like to go aboard if you had the chance? I thought that was Clarence. I read that wrong. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know where I'd go. Let's see. It's funny. But if you can get one thing down that you really like a good face or a good eyeball or just a good hand, then sometimes the rest of the drawing will fall into place. It kind of soothes my anxieties about the rest of the project if I can put one good thing down that I'm kind of excited about. Does that make any sense? Oh, and yeah, there's this whole weird thing where Lion Guard is apparently a mid-sequel to Lion Guard 2 because it's about the little girl lion learning how to be queen. Because apparently it is just firstborn, first come. And the secondborn becomes the Lion Guard. And apparently Scar was in charge of it, but he, surprise, surprise, turned evil and destroyed it with his own roar. It's weird. And even then they say he destroyed it with, he had this roar, this super-powered roar, and he used it to destroy the Lion Guard. And they say that is the specific reason why he doesn't have it in the movie. He used it for evil, so he lost it. But then Rafiki comes around and says, this roar, you can use it for great good or great evil. And it's like, what are you trying to set up something? Like are you setting some sort of temptation thing up? Because you literally said, if you use it for evil, you lose it. So yeah, you can use it for great evil once, and then it goes away. You can only be a dick once, and then you're out. Oh, and by the way, there's just straight up parts where Mufasa just talks to his grandson in the sky. So it's sort of kind of admirable and kind of cool in certain ways, but really lame in other ways. And also it brings up this huge problem in continuity. Where the hell were the Lion Guard, quote unquote, when what's his face? Kovu? Kovu. That sounds like something. Kovu. You know, the when Lion. Where were they during Lion King 2? I don't know. That little finger looks almost a little too human to me. But I hate those Johnny Test limbs that they gave her. Look at that. Squared fingers, weird little thing, geometric feet. Ugh. Whip crack, whip crack. I was going to do a comic, and I was still maybe going to do it, but it was going to be a prequel for Gravity Falls, where they try to figure out where Stanley went after he fell into the portal, and I was going to have him show up in the old Gravity Falls, the one from the animated pilot, the Flash one, and it was going to be creepy old alternate universe Flash animation Grunkle Stan, you know, and the kids being like, "Who are you?" And he'd point his finger, and I was going to add a whip crack sound effect. And then the last panel will be said, it was horrible. No, maybe it wasn't the finger itself. Maybe it was just the position of it. Yeah, that's a little better. Let's see. Thoughts on How You Train Your Dragon films and the subsequent and the TV shows. Yeah, I thought I love the How You Train Your Dragon movies. I think they're great. Again, classic setup by I'm trying to think of his name. He made Lilo and Stitch. He used to be a storyboard artist at Disney. Well, yeah. I mean, he actually did some pretty famous storyboards. Like he storyboarded the Beast transformation scene. And when you do that kind of crap, when your stuff almost gets you almost earns the company a Emmy, just like for not animation, just like a straight up best film Emmy. Yeah, you give him all the movies you want. Let's see, he did Lilo and Stitch. He's got a DeviantArt account, and he lives up to that name because he draws all these curvy, just like thick-thighed Hawaiian girls. Chris Sanders, yes. But let's see. Yeah, How You Train Your Dragon was great. I loved it. The sequel, I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I know what happens in it. And I've seen the TV show. I think it was an okay continuation to things. It's kind of heartbreaking with the addition of new information. But yeah, I like that. I haven't seen the Netflix original. What's it like? Where they find a little box or something, and you shoot fire into it, or no, you shoot fire into it, and it gives you secret messages. It's funny for a kind of people that were always trying to kill dragons. They sure do have a lot of interesting little secret tidbits, you know, like laying around, like secret treasures that are really reliant on dragons. It's like, we hate dragons, but if you happen to be friends with one, you can get some real cool shit. Um, and I like all the additional dragons. The, you know, kind of, I think there was one Halloween episode where they were fighting this one glowy dragon, and they found out it was glowing because of a certain kind of algae it was drinking from. There were like tunneling dragons and sound dragons and snow dragons. I liked them all. What do I feel about Miraculous Ladybug? I've seen a couple episodes, but I think it's kind of weird that her powers come from what is essentially like an anime character. But yeah, I like it. I think it's definitely smooth in terms of its animation. So yeah, it's good. I made the head maybe a little bit too thick. I'll just go over and do the arms. I don't want to go back. Oh, by the way, I've been playing with the tablet. I put the template down a little bit, the pin sensitivity, and now it's real smooth. I like it. I started playing with it after I said I had complaints about how it wasn't that intuitive while I was streaming. But now it's just, it feels like it's real smooth and inky. Have you ever seen the Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers? No, but I've seen that YouTube clip about their music video. No guts, no glory. Now we're making a stand. We're ready to do it again. Yeah. Yeah, I used to go and back when YouTube was first starting out, they didn't have they had episodes of all this old stuff, but they didn't, you know, sometimes it would go down, but they definitely had a lot of classic cartoon openings. You know, plenty of compilations of that. So yeah, I would go and I would just I would look at theme songs to cartoons I've never even heard of. And then I would go and Wikipedia them, and that's kind of where we're at today. Do you still mess around with CGI? Yes, I do, sir. In fact, you know, I'm feeling a little zesty today. Let me see if I can bring up something to show you guys. Or if the program will just crap itself. Not the program, but my computer. Let's see. I think my favorite part of anime is the hour-long openings. Yeah, they're all pretty good. Let's see. Does this work? Yeah, it'll work. Let me get this on CR. When are you going to upload some of the older episodes? Yeah, I got to... The thing is, with the older episodes, if I bring them in, I have to... what is that? Oh, that's just another layer. Just wait a second. Add, do that, apply, hit OK. Okay, you know, you see, that's supposed to be Blender, and maybe it'll be up if I, if I move it over on this side. Okay, yeah. Let me put. Let's see. Yeah, it's going real slow because I've got other stuff opened. But that I've been studying and taking tutorials about how to model faces and how to start them out. You start with the eyes, and then you create a bridge of the nose, and work your way down to the mouth. I've done this with a couple characters. Let's go to subsurface divide, and then let's set this to smooth so we can kind of get a good look at it. Yeah, it's pretty good, I think. Good starting out. Oh, I remember. I remember there's this problem here. You got to go and you got to go into edit mode. And you got to hit Control N, or no, you got to select everything, hit Control N. There. Because sometimes with your modeling it'll get too rough and edges will bleed. Here, let's see if I can get something. See if it'll show up. Yeah, there we go. That's just some random character that I was doing. Let me bring up, or let me open something else. File, open, open recently, and then of course I had to try and do Marge Simpson and start her because I was going slow. I was doing the same process over and over again, and that's building up the eyes and the nose and the top of the mouth to try and get that out of there. So yeah, I'm just kind of going slow. I do this with a bunch of different characters. I download their models, and I'm just trying to work on building heads. No, thank you. Blender has stopped. Yes, of course it has. Bring up Say again. Hit that. Hit apply. Okay, where is it? Oh yeah, that's right. It won't show up unless I bring it up. Speaking of which, any Kill of Kill fans here? You know what? I'm just gonna say I've seen a couple clips of Kill la Kill. I got really super hyped about it. It seemed like a great series. Actually started watching it. It's a little bit weird and stupid for my taste. It's good out of context when you're there for all the epic moments. But when I actually sat down and watched it, it was like, oh, this is, I don't know, this is a little dumb. And maybe that's the point, and I'll admit that, but it was kind of like, I'm not gonna sit and watch this. No. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I had it on the same layer, damn it. Oh yeah, here. Let's see. Yeah, but I mean, you know, like kind of the whole premise and the way some of the characters act, and it's just I just wasn't. I just wasn't digging it. As soon as I got into it, and I was like, oh man, this must be super cool, and I actually got to the bare grit of it, and I was like, well, I like JoJo. I've watched JoJo. I watched JoJo Abridged, and that got me into the regular series. which I've watched a couple of them on Crunchyroll. Um, Possible unpopular opinion: I did not like the last season of Korra. I didn't like. I lost interest in Korra very early on. But anyway, yeah, I started watching JoJo, and again, it's stupid. It's like really dumb, but on the other hand, not in a way that Kill la Kill is, if that makes any sense. JoJo. Um, let's see. But yeah, I mainly get into different series because of abridged series. Uh, like Hellsing Abridged is great. They still haven't released that this year's episode, have they? Or did they? I don't know. I'll have to check that out now. Now that you guys reminded me. Oh, that's what the problem is. Let's see. Legend of Korra 3 is the peak of both series. I will fight you on this. No, I think actually the original series was a lot better than Korra in many regards. More believable villains, and an actual common good solid storyline, not this start stop bullcrap. Uh, and plus, it never answered its own question. And one of the questions in Avatar was, does the world, Avatar, the Avatar, does the world need the Avatar? That's sort of the question in both in the series, but it's more so in Legend of Korra because it is in. Let me organize my thoughts here. I have to be careful how I choose my thoughts because I know that there are a lot of Korra fans. In the beginning of Last Airbender, he shows up again, and all of a sudden there's this hope for the Avatar returning, and it's about Aang coming to terms with that and learning that yes, he does need to. He may not be. He needs to be something. He can't do nothing. He doesn't need to be the Avatar that everyone wants him to be, but he can be his own Avatar and still stick up for the right thing and not just run away. And by the way, people are always bitching about the dragon turtle. It's like, oh no, he went on a spirit quest and found a spirit. That's totally out of left field. Anyway, but yeah, I like the fact that when he was asking all the previous avatars what to do, they all said, well, no, you just got to do what you got to do. And put on a little hard hat and gave him a thumbs up with a sad face on. I should make that poster. Just like all the old avatars just being, you got to do what you got to do. And they're all old and sad and they've got hard hats on. But then the turtle, the dragon turtle gives him the power to energy bend because it still didn't set well with his soul. And he kept searching and he found this sort of answer to his situation. And that's why I don't give the dragon turtle a lot of crap because, like I said, he went on a spirit quest and found the best spirit he possibly could to handle the situation or help him. Legend of Korra, it was all about, hey, does the world need an avatar? Like, seriously, does the world need an avatar? Does the world even need bending? Was the question in the first series. And it wasn't the first, and you can totally tell I was really despondent when the first villain, oh, by the way, I guess this is all spoiler alert for Avatar. You could totally tell that when the first villain turned out to be a waterbender and not someone who had learned how to... That's just a truck, Chico. It's just a truck. Hold on a second. It's just a truck, Chico. It's gone. He got excited. Now, I would have been impressed if it was like someone who, again, I think that was a cop-out. I would have loved it if it were actually someone who really did feel that bending, who like, you know, actually had a problem with it. But no, it was just some guy learning how to, using his own bending in order to get a leg up, kind of approach the disenfranchised and make an enemy out of bending. You know, I'm not saying Trump is a waterbender, but maybe we should look into that. So that's the first question of the series. And then you got like other people wanting to be like the Avatar. You've got the Dark Avatar, which I'm sorry, just sounds like something out of a horrible fan fiction. It sounds something evil zombie dark Egyptian gods. Now, then you have, and like, you have the Dark Avatar. You have the band of, let's see, I guess what were they? They were just trying to, I don't know. It's at every point, Korra comes in. She doesn't quite, she does the thing that Aang did. She uses her friends, and her friends step up, and they step up in a huge way in season 3. I know that because that's the one part I saw. But again, it's at never point does she say, yes, the world needs an avatar. In fact, it kind of kills it by having her, I guess, kill off all the chain that was before it. And I think that maybe should have happened way earlier, like maybe season 3, and then she works through that, not at the damn ending of the series. It's like, I'm going to do my own thing. It's like, well, maybe you should have done your own thing. That sounds like an interesting story. Maybe you should have done that. It's like, but no, now we'll get to be able to sell lesbian comic books. And I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just kind of saying there are certain properties that I would attribute to definitely raising awareness and, for different peoples and showing how it's okay, aka Steven Universe. And then I would kind of bat an eye at other properties who just might be shoehorning in certain things in order to get popular. It's like Steven Universe doing it right. Legend of Korra kind of fucking it up. Oh god, that's the first time I cursed on here. Oh no, we're all impure now. It's like there's nothing worse than wasted potential. That's why I'm kind of mad at Alex for ditching Gravity Falls. And if it turns out that Disney wasn't going to let him do half the stuff he wanted, so he left anyway, that's fine. But like I said, there was something at the beginning of all this where he said, well, if we couldn't make the show funny, then we can make it meaningful. And it's like, well, you did both. But there's, I guess, some things that you find funny that you couldn't do. Which is why I am, quote, worried about if he gets a show on Fox and it becomes the, you know, something weird. Which isn't bad. I like things that are weird. I liked the first couple episodes of Golan. I thought it was going to turn out to be pretty good, and then it kind of went meh. Got a little too edgelord for its own good. So yeah, I'm just like I said, there's nothing worse than wasted potential, and I think Legend of Korra has tons of it. It's like it meandered way too much on different things and wasn't focused. I think the most interesting characters in that whole run were the bad guys, and they all bought it super easily compared to how they should have gone out. And I don't give a crap. Lava bending is stupid. I know he said I didn't want to step on anyone's toes, but you know, this is the first time someone's actually asked me how do I feel about Legend of Korra, and my response has usually always been, whatever. But now that I've got a chance to kind of hear my own words, I guess kind of don't like it. Oh, speaking of which, you said you wanted Disney to make something like Avatar, but not Avatar. It was like, how is lava bending stupid? I don't know. It just doesn't. It's like it's rock bending. It's rock. Lava is not. Fire is kind of a reaction. Lava is kind of a reaction. They should have been able to lava bend at the very beginning. Because it's like mud bending. It's like, oh no, it's rock that's slightly hotter. It's like, okay, fine. Then it's rock that's slightly hotter. What, you can't do it? It becomes something else? It doesn't change its chemical nature. I mean, it's like water benders can manipulate water into ice and steam and all sorts of things. It's like, so it should have become, if there were a line in there, if there were a line in the show that, and maybe I missed it, that said, hey, you know, it's like, hey, water benders, they can bend their water in all these different states. Why can't earth benders? It's like if you get earth hot enough to kind of melt itself, which, you know, it gets that hot. It's like, why can't we bend that stuff? It's like metal bending I can understand because it's a refined type of metal, and I could understand how that would need a little bit more finesse in terms of how to go about it. And maybe that's where it's coming from, but it seems a lot simpler to bend lava than it does metal. Because metal, you're taking all the earth away from it, but it's still a type of earth. It's just a much more refined kind of earth. It's like lava is just regular lava, regular rock, but it's hot. And then again, yes, I understand that the rock is Wait. Because of rock, it changes state. It's much more energy applied than water. No, it's kind of the same. It's like mud bending. That will, that scene where Toph and what Katara, yeah, that's her name. It's like they were mud bending. If it's a combination of the two elements, they should have been able to do it. Let's see. CR, what superpower would you love to have the most? I don't know. It's like there's always a setback to superpowers. I would have to get one and then understand all of its capabilities. I'm screwing up on this toe here. Yeah, that's fine. That's good enough. What about cheese bending thing? Oh. I don't know. You see, it's like there was this argument that if you had super strength, you'd have super strength, but maybe you're. Well, no, that I never liked that. There's this one video on Cracked After Dark. They say, well, if you had super strength, it would be useless because it would break your muscles. Well, if you get super strength, it's sort of implied that the rest of your body has become more durable to necessitate that strength. Although I don't know how the Flash does it. He punches things at super speed all the time and he doesn't seem to break his knuckles. I'm sure there's some sort of science behind it. Let's see. Speed. Oh yeah, Speed Force. Something. Yeah. Where it's like it's like the Force, but it's got more speed in it. Oh, by the way, let me get this off my chest before I forgot. Before I forget, let's see. Someone said that they wanted Disney to make a show like Avatar, but not Avatar. Well, check this out. And this is weird. I discovered this at the store while I was shopping, and I took some photos of it. I do that. If I see something interesting, I'll take a snapshot of it. And while I'll bring this up, I'll show you the other thing too. Let's see. If I close this will pop up. Check it out. I was in the book section at Target because I was getting, what was it? Was I getting some pills? Yeah, I was getting some pills. And they had something called the Zodiac Legacy. It's like Stan Lee. I assume that is the Stan Lee and two other guys. And of course, this is, I guess, the first book, Convergence. Sounds like one of those teenage, drama whatevers. But check this out. I looked at the synopsis on the back. When 12 magical, I was going to read that, when a 12-year-old girl, late on her way to school one day, when 12 magical superpowers are unleashed on the world, a Chinese-American teenager named Steven will be thrown into the middle of an epic global chase. He'll have to master strange powers, outrun dangerous mercenaries, and unlock the mysteries of the Zodiac. Okay, pop quiz. Pop quiz chat. What does that sound like? Jackie Chan Adventures. 10 points for overlooking doors. His house. Yeah, it sounds exactly like Jackie Chan. It was like Stanley basically, took Jackie Chan. I don't know. You see, he's so old. I don't know if he did that on if he knew he was doing it, or if he actually saw Jackie Chan Adventures and was like, "Oh yeah, I could do this." He has to learn astronomy to save the world. No, it's not astronomy. It's just the Jackie Chan Adventures was a show. It's an amazing show. It's like it's god tier amongst celebrity TV shows. Like usually they're god awful, like Mr. T and uh, what else? Mr. T's the only thing that comes to mind. I know Hanna-Barbera did a ton of them, but yeah, and it's great. It's like he likely didn't know. Maybe I think so, and it's still an interesting. This leg looks weird. It's still an interesting topic that could lend itself very well to stories. I remember he was kind of starting to try and make his own superheroes again. This was back in the 2000s, and he made one. He did a bunch of like limited edition animated specials, and one was called Mosaic, and it was about this shapeshifter who. That was it. She was basically Mystique, but without green skin. And then there was this one about a skateboarding kid called the Falcon. And then there was another one called Lightspeed, which is basically his take on the Flash. And these were all like movies, straight to home movies. Oh yeah, Backstreet Boys, the New Kids on the Block. So yeah, I saw this and I was like, that's exactly like Jackie Chan, except it's made for teenagers. What else was I gonna show you? What the hell's this? What? A Frozen Heart. What is this? Is this an adaptation of Frozen or what? Stan Lee might be overrated, but I was watching a documentary on superheroes last night. He's still pretty integral. In, he's still pretty important to the industry, and he was still a pretty good writer back in his heyday. And then of course there's I just went up and down the Disney aisle of the book section. Um, Isle of Lost, A New Descendants. Let's see. Um, oh, and this was the thing I wanted to show you guys earlier. Check this out. And it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You know what this is? This is a trading card. Not a trading card, a little trading card chip. I saw this once. It was sold in a little pack. It's this sort of it's this game where you set down the tiles and you try to beat the. It's almost like triple triad, but I guess it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hextuple triad. But this is a greeting card. This is a birthday card. They put a trading card. They put a collectible game in a birthday card, and I thought this was the most amazing thing I have ever seen. And I was dumbfounded as to why no one had ever thought about doing this earlier. That was the day I went shopping with my mom because I meet her and we go shopping and just do our own thing. Uh, get the things we both need at the same time. And I do that with grandma too. But I saw this and I pointed it out to her and I said, I said, "Oh my God, wouldn't it have been amazing if back when me and Blake were into Pokemon and they had like a rare card nested in a birthday card? It's like, oh hey, it's like, hey, Professor Oak sent you this special gift, and you open it up, and it's like a rare Pikachu or a Mewtwo card, or even like a booster pack. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, it's a recipe for stir fry seasoning. Don't use it. It's terrible. I took a snapshot with my phone off of my computer. Well, I actually think this card is actually, you call the shots today, and it's Han and Chewie's little collector. Oh yeah, are you talking about? Yeah, you're talking about. Let me see. How do I make you a mod? Yeah, I'll let you put in the. I'll let you link that because I don't have. Have you ever tried UFS card game? What is UFS, Jay? But like I said, isn't this amazing? Wouldn't that have been amazing if you were like a little kid and you opened it up and it was like, hey, here's like a pack of cards. Although these cost about $7 a pop because of this stupid little chip. And I even went back into the toy section because I've seen this game before, and I was like, oh, I've seen this before. I wonder if they still have it. And if it's like still, if it was still $10, I was gonna buy it. Uh, and maybe review it at some point. But no, they ran out of the game. So yeah, they're giving away these birthday cards with game chips that for games that might not even be available. Talk about familiar face, cheap damage material. And yeah, I have a brother, a little brother. Oh yeah, I've seen that billboard. It's the one where that just makes Deadpool look like it's a romantic comedy. Which I knew someone was going to do that one day. I knew they were going to do something where they try to sell a movie as a different kind of movie. And I'm glad it's Deadpool that's trying to do that. That finger is still bugging the hell out of me. It needs to be smaller to match all the other fingers on this side of the hand. There we go. But yeah, I was like flabbergasted. That's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. And it's wasted on. Oh, and it's a game made by Topps. My old rival. It's a licensed trading card game that was based off fighting games. Huh. Blind bag. Seen GameStop sell blind bag Five Nights at Freddy's for $7. Wait, is this a game or is this like? Did they make a Five Nights at Freddy's tabletop game or is this just like one of those little figures? There we go. That'll work. I've heard things about Gwynpool. Apparently, the premise of that series is that. Let's see. The premise of the series is that it's not a Gwen Stacy as Deadpool. It's this other completely different girl that got trapped in the Marvel universe, and she's trying to survive by becoming super popular by taking on the persona of two of the more popular characters now, Spider-Gwen and Deadpool. Seems like an interesting premise. Only saw one page produced by a studio. Oh, they did Power Pack. They're really good. I am gonna studio. It's Gurh Kuru or something like that. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, you should all. Someone just mentioned insert Mary Sue the series. You should all check out Ensign Mary Sue Must Die. It's a webcomic and it's hilarious. Hey, Sebastian, make yourself useful and look up Ensign Mary Sue Must Die and throw in a link to it. It's a great webcomic. It's done by this guy who really does a lot of great parody work. He did like Watchmen Babies, not the Simpsons joke, like actual Watchmen Babies. He also did a Luigi comic strip and a let's see, he did Luigi and some Star Wars stuff too. Yeah, this is not turning out bad. Yeah, definitely check that out. And the Luigi stuff's amazing too. But yeah, check that out. I think it's over. I think he did this whole it's a character, it's a series based on the character from the famous Star Wars fan fiction where Ensign Mary Sue exists and she's super good at everything and everyone loves her. Just wait. Regular phone's calling. I don't know why I have a... I don't know why I have a landline. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, but yeah, he did this whole kind of Mary Sue invasion arc, and it's pretty good. I love it. Have I checked out, someone asked, I think, have I checked out the, oh, let's see, what is it? Have I checked out the Super Mario Brothers movie comic Yeah, the fan thing. Yeah, I read through it once, like a long time ago. Um, I don't know, seemed pretty interesting to me. I am one of the defenders of that movie, saying that it was at least interesting in what they did. Um, and I know people hate it because it was bad, and I know the actors who worked on it hated it because the directors were terrible. That they celebrated when it was a directing couple and they were these arrogant frauds, um, and they got kicked off, and the second director took over for the rest of the movie, and everyone celebrated. Uh, it was almost like that scene where they're all dancing in the water. But yeah, and I know poor Bob Hoskins. He broke his, God rest his soul. He broke his wrist on that movie because they were too incompetent to uh, set up some sort of. He broke it in that car scene where he gets slammed against the police barricade in the back of the car. Um, when it was coming to a stop. But he gave it his all. And I don't care what the nostalgia critic says. I like that. I liked his Mario voice. I know it's similar to his Roger Rabbit persona, but or dead on actually. But I don't care. I loved it. It's like Brooklyn Mario. Phalis said it better, best. Brooklyn Mario is better than Italian stereotype Mario. And there's this little thing with the hand that's bugging me. Well, no, I guess that's okay. No, it doesn't. It just doesn't look right. That's supposed to be her finger folding in on up on her, but up under the finger. But this is a little too far out. There. And like I said, I thought they did interesting things with the film. I know it may not be the best. I know it's not exactly good, but you know, it's like I like it just because it tried something different. And like I said, it kind of started that trend of, it's all grimmer and darker than it should be. Like, what was it? Like the Tin Man is actually some sort of policeman, and just sorry, I gotta take this down in order to get into Lazy Nizumi. Where is it? All my stuff shifted around at some point. Hey Joe, how you doing? Um, okay, turn this on. Attach it to this. Hook, shot. Let's see. Let me the super. Let's see. Super Mario Brothers movie shows why you don't get people who say video games with little plots should be adapted before more modern games like Uncharted. Oh, yeah, I guess I'd get that. What's my favorite David Bowie song? Well, I would have to say Under Pressure. I'm also kind of a little bit of a Queen fan, so yeah, I would have to say that collaboration was pretty something. And my mother, when she found out David Bowie died, she started listening to all his music too. But then she goes, and I'm with her. I'm visiting her, and then she goes, "I've been singing Ice Ice Baby all day, and I don't know why." And I had to sit her down and explain to her that I had to sit her down and explain that the history of that song and Ice Ice Baby. I said, Vanilla Ice used that song in a mix to, as a back to his rapping, but it was originally in, in that other song, Under Pressure. So, and I had to explain to her about the lawsuit, and I don't know. I think, yeah, Vanilla Ice shouldn't have done that. But on the other hand, it's, oh man, this is all. I gotta restart this. It's all wonky. I mean, remixing now or using other people's music now is become sort of it's become commonplace now. Not condoning it or anything. It's just like, I think other people may have been getting a bad rap for it. I mean, I forget what the logistics of it, if he actually paid for it or not or whatever. I don't know. This is about Bowie. Vanilla Ice is still a better person than Chris Brown. Hear, hear. His name is Vanilla Ice. I am not making this up. If you guys haven't seen the JoJo Abridged series, hey, Sebastian, could you do me another solid and look up JoJo Bizarre Adventure Abridged, and put that in the link too, if you would. You can ask to be You can ask to be a mod, but if you do, you'll have to post some things for me. Vanilla Ice, you're about to be under pressure. Yeah, I heard that the bad guy in Double Dragon is supposed to be based off him. Let me look at this. No, that's Phantom Blood, I think. Or is it? Yeah, that's close. They'll find it if they go to that's Phantom Blood, the first series that they're abridging. Yeah, I know you. I can mod you too. You get to be a mod, and you get to be a mod. And there's also a little button that I can give you guys a timeout. Her eye is a little weird now that I did that. Or maybe it's always been weird because the line was too thick. Yeah, I know it. I did that wrong. It was just it was too thick from the beginning. Yeah, the JoJo guy, the JoJo guy, he's a huge fan of music, and you could totally tell what music he was listening to while writing all his different series, the different chapters of his books, because he would name villains after bands. Like there's a villain called AC/DC, which is ACDC, but it's spelt with an E and as one word, like ese, ES, Dese, DES, you know, ACDC. Vanilla Ice's powers are sucking so much he turns into a black hole. Yeah. There we go. That's a little bit better. Still a little bit to the side here. Yeah, that'll work out fine. What's the worst video review you've ever seen on the internet? I don't know, because when you do that, you don't keep watching it. You keep going, you stop. You know, it's kind of like, oh, well, the audio's too bad, or, you know, this guy really doesn't know what he's talking about, or he decided to be obnoxious and yell into the microphone, you know, 2 minutes in. Not 2 minutes, like 2 seconds in. So you're like, you just kind of stop and you don't remember it. I'm not gonna do the eyelashes just yet. I'm gonna copy, rotate. Now, was David Bowie in Zoolander? Was he the judge of something? That kind of argument, not the argument, but the I don't know, they ripped each other's underwear out. Not each other's, they ripped their underwear out. The model off. Where they Okay, I assume CR answered the Littlest Pep Shop questions then. Yeah, he was the model judge. Okay, I figured that. Apparently, he was very secretive that he had cancer. I don't even. It doesn't. The articles I read don't even mention what kind it was. Of course, I think they were all just still blown away that he had it. I mean, that he had died. Hmm. Yeah, that's a little bit. This eyelash is a little bit off kilter, but I kind of like it. Kind of, it's not symmetrical. I mean, not symmetrical, balanced, but it's looks interesting. I like it. Let's see. That's she's got 1, 2, 3, 5 on each eyelash. Liver cancer. No, wait. Oh, Wes Craven had brain cancer. Okay. Okay, yeah. Damn. Uh, yeah, he's gone too. Let's see. I'm curious if Warcraft will have a David Bowie depiction of Duncan Jones is the son of Bowie himself. What was this? Okay. I'm curious about getting a commission from you. Do you have a post on DA about your commission info? Yes, Matt. I have a link. If you look at the... Oh, wait, no. I didn't put it in this one. If you look on some of my older videos, I do have commission description in there. Prices and what I do. And the different kinds. Now this third one was huge on the other end, so I'm gonna... See, any thoughts of doing a homage to the White Thin Duke? I don't know. I mean... It's like it's weird. I did that one tribute for Leonard Nimoy, and I did the one tribute for Krabappel's voice actress. But I don't know. Sometimes it needs to hit me, and if I see other people doing better jobs, it's like I was on Tumblr the other day, and already the whole place was already filled up with the most amazing kind of artwork. You know, Iggy Stardust everywhere. It's like, yeah, maybe I could do something. I mean, and I was seeing a ton of Labyrinth fan art. You know, it's beautiful and moving and touching. And yeah. And yeah, he had a very well-known body of work, and it seems to be being represented by the people that loved and admired him already. I did the Mr. Monshroud thing because that was one aspect of Leonard Nimoy that I loved that maybe a lot of people didn't maybe not have known about. I have one regret, and that's when he came one time to the Phoenix Comic Con. And I wasn't paying attention to the... I went on the last day of it. It was like a week-long thing. And I went on the last Sunday. It's just down at the convention center downtown. It's actually a pretty nice little setup they have down there. I didn't go to any of the conventions. I just went to... Oh, yeah, the Sovereign. They had a depiction of him as the Sovereign. But the Sovereign was a bad guy, and he used David Bowie just to make himself feel better. I don't know. That just doesn't seem right. But yeah, I went down to the convention center for Phoenix Con. It's really nice. I always want to do it again, but it's smack dab right in the middle of birthday season. Like, it's my grandma's birthday, it's my mama's birthday. She was born on 4th of July. And she's got macaroni in her hair or whatever. So it's always birthday season. I always want to go back, but I always blow all my money, all my disposable income on birthday gifts first. So it's like, I don't want to go down there and just stare at a bunch of stuff I can't really buy. It's like it's $50 to get in, and then I'd buy what? A bunch of pins, which is actually just what I did last time. But I digress. I digress. I saw Leonard Nimoy was there, and the one thing that I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but the one thing I would have loved is if he had signed my the Halloween tree, my copy of that. I think that would have been special. Wrong layer. Wrong button. Let's see, what do we got here? I read Last Days of Miss Marble. Bowie. David Bowie. Maybe I'll do what was his name? Kiyoshi. Little Karibo had the had his side, what's that name? Naruto, there we go. Had that Naruto abridged series where he says, I'm not David Bowie. Not David Bowie. Not David Bowie. David Bowie. Yeah, this is cute. It's not in the center of my old drawing, but that'll do fine. Kakashi, what was his name? His face was always his face was masked. That was part of the gag in Naruto. I don't know if Lil Karibo ever did anything with it. Oh, but that makes the whole joke about zombie David Bowie as my teacher seem really sad. Let's see, how big are her pupils? Kakashi? Yeah. And she's got big pupils, I'll give her that. Sorry guys, stretching my legs. David Bowie. David Bowie. Joe's taking off. Where's Joe going? Okay, hey, see you, Joe. I'll talk to you later. I'm almost done anyway. I don't know what exactly I'm gonna put on the sash, so it's gonna be. I'm probably gonna take my own time, figure that out. Did that botch that? Will Gwenpool actually be Marvel's next breakout character? No, I don't. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if she was. You know, kind of like meme based and Deadpool esque. But no, I think it's an interesting idea, and I think it's nice that it would be explored. You know, as a comedic title, almost like a offshoot of Howard the Duck. Even though I think Howard the Duck is actually more dramatic than people give it credit. But no, I don't think Gwenpool will stick around too long. But if she does, it wouldn't surprise me. I think people are kind of looking for that levity now in certain places. Kalmar is great. In fact, if I can get some money together, who's Kamara? Kamala. Mm. Well, in terms of cartoon pandas, I prefer Penny Lynn anyway. Well, what other cartoon pandas are there? I'm trying to think. I know there's Andy Panda, which was kind of, let's see, the guy who made Woody Woodpecker and Bugs Bunny. Andy Panda was kind of his answer to Mickey Mouse. And Andy Panda had this girlfriend, and she was a bitch. It's like I remember the one cartoon that she appeared in, and it was something about her wanting a stole, and she was just like a huge bitch to. Oh, Po, the Kung Fu Panda, of course, duh. I forgot. That movie looks okay. Let's see. Now this is just going to be some monochromatic shading, which basically means I use different colors on the blue scale, kind of give it some form. That might be a little bit too dark, but I can dial that down. Yeah. Let's see. Forgot his name. That one panda in the Secret Squirrel shorts. Yeah, that was an incidental character. I like Kung Fu Panda, but I admit I never saw the second film. The second film was actually pretty damn good. And you're only going to the third one to see Bryan Cranston. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Even then, I'm not interested in the third one. And the second one I actually saw on home video. I haven't gone out to see any of the Kung Fu Panda movies. Even though I know they're pretty good. Or I knew after the first one. The first one was really good, and that surprised me. And the second one was better, and that surprised me. So maybe this one will surprised me as well. Oh, something weird. Her crotch is a little too long. Go back up. Yeah. David Bowie. David Bowie. Now I got that song stuck in my head. David Bowie. David Bowie, Summer Sensation Kun. Yeah, let's hope Bryan Cranston can make it through this movie. That would be hilarious if you found out at the end of uh, Malcolm in the Middle. Where the hell? Oh, did I just? At the end of Malcolm in the Middle, the dad was supposed to die. Oh, I'm using watercolor. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, someone said that there are a lot of talking animal movies coming out. There's Zootopia. There's Zootopia, I guess. There was this huge list on 4chan someone made up, but I can't remember any of it. Come on. There. And again, I have gone this whole time without saving. I just now thought of that. Okay, we're gonna save. Damn it, guys. Next time, just... Oh, Norm of the North! Oh, God. I forgot about that. I've seen a couple spots of that, and it's like, ugh. Let's see. What was her name? Penny Lynn. Oh, yeah, she actually has eyebrows. I forgot those. Put them right here. I'll give her floaty eyebrows. I made her eyes maybe a little bit too big, but that's okay. That's my stylization. I'll give her those weird cartoony floaty eyebrows. You know, I was sort of interested in Zootopia, and then I saw some more trailers, and it kind of made me think, I don't know, is this like going to be one of those, is it just going to be a typical believe in yourself, you know, movie? Which is fine, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too pessimistic. That's why I haven't gone to an actual movie in a while. I've adopted this Zen-like function of entertainment. It's where yeah, I'll go. Maybe that movie looks good. I'll go see it. And it's like, no, it'll be out on DVD soon enough. Let's see. Oh, I got to shade the sash a little bit. Maybe take this color, lighten it up, or darken it up a little bit more. Oh, Secret Life of Pets. Speaking of pet stores, yeah, I saw that too. I don't know how they're going to make a movie about that. Well, that trailer was just, it wasn't stuff in the movie. It was just actual, just, maybe it was just trailer fluff. Maybe it'll be about them all having to band together or do something, you know, save the rec center or pound or whatever. Does that look good? Yeah, looks fine. Chicken Little was never mentioned again. No, I heard that they were actually trying to make a sequel to that, where it was about, I don't know, it was weird. It was like how, let's see, there was this deleted scenes, deleted storyboards floating around somewhere. Uh, about how the ugly duckling kind of got turned beautiful, and then there was some sort of thing around that. It's like, what was her, Abby? Abby was starting to grow out of her awkward phase and actually becoming sort of uh, a bombshell amongst the community. That's one thing. Um, but Chicken Little and her were having a rough spot, and then there was this little sheep played by Tara Strong. At least that's what she was voiced in the that's at least who voiced her in the animatic. And it was implied that she was the sheep in wolf's clothing. Kinda, I guess. It actually looked pretty damn interesting. What animation style do you prefer? I don't know. I like a bunch of different ones. It depends on the show. For example, Moonbeam City is great, but on the other hand, Moonbeam City, there's a lot of static talking, and that suits the style just fine. You know, the flash animation style. I mean, I think there'll always be a certain charm to 2D animation. Or even, I shouldn't call 2D animation. We should call it illustrated animation. .3D's, and I will say, I think 3D might be overused, but it's used because it's become an industry standard in terms of its effectiveness, and it's you can, yeah, it's pretty much its effectiveness. You animate a model. It's like modeling a puppet, but not. One that you don't have to worry about physical space. You can control the camera. Still frame animations will. All these things have their own certain mystique behind them. I used to have an art teacher that would say that if you can see pictures of the Mona Lisa, but if you ever get a chance to actually see it and say, okay, well that's the actual Mona Lisa, and there'll never be any more other than that. You know, there'll only be one original of something, even though it's mass produced, if that makes any sense. So I think all artwork kind of has this sort of this aura to it, and it's effective in certain ways. Like, and sometimes it's ineffective in certain ways. Like F for Family. I've seen that I've seen that once or twice. A few clips of that, and that doesn't seem very viable. There's almost shows that are like, there's almost animated shows that are like, why didn't you just make that into a regular sitcom? And the answer, of course, is that because the performers were not available, and you want those are available to be all in one spot. And at that point, you say, well, either get them all in one spot or give the job to people who can be. There's no reason for that to be animated. It's like, yeah, she's got that. They've got those weird things at the bottom, those weird styes at the bottom of their eyeballs. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to move that up here and then get rid of this one. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I was just thinking, what's that weird cartoon where it's kind of like a Family Guy ripoff for Canada, and it's about a colony of people who keep Crash Canyon. It's about a colony of people that keep crashing into this giant canyon, and they can't get out, and no one will find them, or no one who in charge cares to find them. So they just built the society around being stuck in this canyon. And I was just thinking of crappy Flash animation, and that just popped into my head. Crash Canyon, okay. How do you feel about the hub's decay into what is now Discovery Family Channel? I don't know. Seemed inevitable in retrospective. I mean, they weren't. The channel wasn't being utilized in any significant way. They didn't. Their original programming was kind of lackluster, and most of the stuff was frankly being pirated, or not pirate. I'm not going to blame piracy, even though piracy is a huge chunk. Not only pirated, but just plain watched. People use their web browsers to support it. Either they watched it illegally, or they buy their episodes of My Little Pony. And watch it on, or they watch Hulu or something like that. It's like at the time, a cable channel didn't really make sense unless you actually wanted to use it to its fullest. And then it just went back to Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel really don't know what to do with it. Why has Crash Canyon not be reviewed by anyone? Well, maybe I could review it. But yeah, you got more and more of your viewers are going online. And especially, they assumed that the kids would watch it, but most of their audience wasn't kids. And plus, it's a secondary cable channel. It's not like one of the primary channels. It's an addition. And if your cable carrier will charge you extra for it, well, then that's the first thing to kind of get cut down on. I don't like those eyes. They kind of, the eyelashes. They kind of look like they're like kiss makeup. Maybe if I switch it around a bit. I regret not watching the Hub because they had reruns of Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. Yeah, they bought the whole WB library out, and well, not all of it. They didn't have Hysteria and Tasmania and all that stuff. And plus, their idea of promoting their own things were different. For example, I hear people are getting upset that Littlest Pet Shop is being canceled. Well, they were upset because I guess the toys aren't moving. So, they decided to cancel it. Even though the show's doing good, they decided to cancel the series because it wasn't moving the toys as well. So yeah, it seemed like a good idea, and they had the right idea for a while. Then they became Hasbro and decided to Hasbro everything it up, like they did with Star Wars. It's like they left out the female character, even though she's one of the main characters in Force Awakens. Even I know that. Let's see. Just gotta fix this. Even Cartoon Network now is being weird. I mean, you have Adventure Time, and then you have regular show, which I don't know. I have no idea if the regular show is promoted by any sort of merchandise. It's like I don't understand what toys are why Young Justice got canned. Yeah, I don't know what shows are promoted because they're good and what shows are promoted because they are connected to some sort of merchandise. Or if shows keep going because they're connected to some sort of merchandise, i.e. Adventure Time. Oh, here. Let me show you this while I've got you. Let's close out. Let's see, where is this? Is this it? Oh, yeah. Okay, here. Here's a bunch of My Little Ponies at the dollar store. A bunch of Rainbow Dashes and one errant Applejack. Look at them all. Let's see, but that's not what I was going to show you. What I was going to show you was, is it this? Yeah, it's this. It's a ton of Bravest Warriors Catbug keychains. Oh, and rainbow things. Hey, that's where all the money for the next episode of Bee and Money Puppy Cat went. being money cat. Oh, and of course I'm going to send this into John Oliver. I'm going to send that into John Oliver. I'm going to figure out what kind of website he has. Uh, I'm going to, I'm going to send it to either his, his Twitter or something, and just see if he gets a response to it in any way. I think that would be a kind of a cool joke. It's like, oh, I hope he responds to it. It's like, notice me, John Oliver senpai. See, what else do I have in here? There's got to be some cool stuff. Huh. But yeah, that reminds me, I got to do some more of the Robo Dwarf Hamster comics. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I'm almost done. There's this thing. I saved this layer accidentally. This layer is half transparency, and I'm having a trouble blending it with the one. Oh wait, no. I'll just do this. Yeah, that'll work out fine. You know what? I've got to figure out something to write on the sash. Maybe like world's cutest something or other. And then have her say, is it too much? But other than that, I think this is done. I just need to kind of take my time and think of my own little joke. At least the new Ghostbusters remake has Ghostbuster toys. Maybe I should save this for next time, but I am sort of totally comfortable with, oh, something happened with the eye. Well, what's going on with it? Did I hide a layer? I'm totally comfortable with the all-female cast of Ghostbusters. I could leave or take the suits. I think they're fine for what they are. But one thing I'm kind of concerned about is the... what is it? The plot. It's something about ghost mobsters. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I'm not too interested in human ghosts unless they're like ancient mystical wizards. If it's where ghosts are trying to run the mafia via the afterlife, I don't know. That sounds like an episode of the real Ghostbusters. That doesn't sound like... That just doesn't sound like... Okay, someone said it's better than a rehashed plot. It's like, okay, I get it. It's unique, and maybe all the ghosts will be working for this huge ancient demon or something. But I kind of wanted something a little bit more, more. I don't know, more epic, more ghost-like, more something demonic, something horrible. Anyway, I'll think on that and see if I can solidify my opinions on that a little more. Maybe come up with some different ideas. But anyway, I think this is done for now. I think this is... they wanted line art, slight shading, and some sort of joke. And I think the oversized sash is perfect for... You know what? the plot for that reminds me of R.I.P. You know, that Men in Black Ghostbuster kind of hybrid. That's what it reminds me of, and that's why I'm kind of wary about it. But anyway, like I said, I think we're about done for today. This is what they wanted. Actually turned out pretty cute. Maybe I'll fix this. You know what? I'm gonna fix this leg real quick. I don't. Maybe. Yeah. Let me lower all this down. Does that look better? No. You know what I need to do? I just need to lower it. Yeah, that's a little better. Then I'll just go over this on another layer. You see, this layer of solid color is actually a transparency, and it doesn't blend well when you try to paint on the same layer. You have to paint on the same layer or the layer above it. That usually doesn't happen. Well, it happens sometimes when I'm doing these monochromatic things. I lower the intensity and then I don't think of putting anything underneath it. Yeah, her leg was that was just too high. And also, I'll try to figure out how in the world I can broadcast footage because I know you can do it. I've seen the co-optional podcast and they do it all the time. They don't even blink an eye when they do it. But for some reason, my laptop just won't cut it. Maybe I'll download this program onto my other rig and see if we can. See, Star Wars is always a franchise that gets certain ideas. Have I seen Star Wars? No. No. Well, yeah, I've seen the original. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Should I give her a little fatty kind of thigh thing right there? Yeah, that might work. Yeah, that's much better. Ooh, lowered that down. Yeah, and then make it look like that's a leg and not just like a big wad of meat coming out of her torso. Like this is her knee and not the bottom of her. Yeah, much better. Okay. And again, that finger is just a little bit too meaty for my taste. Maybe if I get rid of this hard edge. Perfect. This is the final process. It's going in and out, looking. I'm a bit of a stickler for this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I'll save and then we'll call it a day. But anyway, yeah, very good. Let's see. What's your favorite Comedy Central show? How long have we been doing this? Yeah, about 3 hours. That's good. I was actually surprised. I did that skeleton piece and got that all done in about 3 hours. And of course, after I processed it, I sped it up a little bit. But yeah, I guess that's how long it takes for me to do some of these. What is this? When the hell did that show up? It's like, when was I using the blur tool? Not blur tool, the airbrush. Ugh. Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah. I think we're good for now. Anyway, hey, thanks for joining me. We'll keep in mind the Ghostbuster questions. Keep in mind any other questions you have. But until then, take care of each other and goodbye.